Hi everyone, welcome back. So for this reading topic, we're going to ask the question, what have you healed already? Or what have you learned so far in your journey? And here we have 3 cards that you can choose from. For the first group, we have here this card that says Liberating Love. For the second group, it says here Rewiring the Nervous System. And for the last group, we have here Demystifying the Darkness. So once you have selected which cards you're drawn to, you may actually head over to the timestamps below and just click it. As simple as that. Let's begin. Liberating Love, group number 1. Let's put this aside for now. We'll actually read that later on, the messages from the guidebook. But first, let's actually uncover what have you healed so far? Or what have you learned so far in your journey? Spirit guides, archangels, and angels, please provide some guided messages for the collective we chose, group number 1. You have here the Wise One, Seven of Cups, you have here Wanderer, Nine of Cups, Six of Coins in reverse, and then King of Coins. Bottom of the deck, you have your Six of Cups in reverse. So this one is very straightforward from Spirit. So for group number 1, they're definitely showing me here that what you have healed already, it had something to do with connections, relationships from your past, in which at first, it was really so hard for you to release it. Okay? Which is quite interesting because you chose the card Liberating Love. Whatever type of connection this is, whether it's a love connection or a friend, it can also be, a job for some of you. But regardless, what they're showing me here is that you had the courage to finally release these situations or anything that is related to your past that is preventing you from moving forward. Some of you thought that it's okay to hold on to it, all right? But eventually you realized, you had this wake-up call, that the more you try to hold on to the past, it's actually putting you in a state of confusion. It's putting you in a stagnant state as well. For some of you, you realize, all right, eventually, that if it's a connection from your past, that it lacks balance. And this is something that you have realized, that balance is the key. Balance is very much important, especially in relationships. But maybe the connections from your past actually took, so much more from you. And here you are, you're giving a lot to them. Others of you realize that there are other options. You probably settled for that connection for way too long, thinking that, no, this is my wish. This is the one for me. But eventually, like what I said, you have realized, okay, that there's so many possibilities out there. There's so many opportunities out there. Now, again, it's not necessarily connections. It can also be the things they used to love. But it's definitely something related to your past. Even with the Six of Cups in reverse, this is a sign that you don't allow your past to hold you back anymore. This is what you have realized or what you have learned, and you became wiser in your journey, group number one. Because this one, it says the wise one. And I'm drawn to this keys over here. I feel that you were able to unlock something that actually helped you to finally move forward. Some of you realize that you actually deserve a king of coins. Maybe if this is all about love and partnerships, in which you actually were in a connection in which it lacks balance, they're treating you as if you're an option, okay? You realize that that's not what I need. And I don't deserve to be treated that way. You took that leap of faith to leave something that you know deep down is not really for your highest good. And I feel that some of you have been manifesting, if it's a love connection, you've been manifesting a king of coins, meaning this person is going to be serious and stable. Somebody's not wishy-washy with the Seven of Cups over here. Wow. All right, let's try to pull up another set of cards. What have you healed already, group number one? You have here integrity. Eight of water. And you have here observe, which is also the hangman card in the traditional tarot. Again, I just love how everything is matching, and I'll tell you why. So let's read the card integrity first. It says here, align your actions so that they match your values and inner knowingness of what's right for you. Exactamundo. Like what I said. A lot of you guys who chose group number one, maybe it took some time, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that you have this huge realization that there's something that you really needed to walk away from. Because Eight of Cups is talking about walking away from something. Maybe it was so hard because you've been holding on to that, okay, with this treasure chest over here. But eventually, as you contemplated about your situation with the Hangman card over here, you realize that there are some things, connections, situations, all right, that are not aligned to you anymore. That maybe those connections, if it's a connection, it was just there at that time, at that very moment, because it's just part of your journey. But that doesn't mean they have to stay. I'm hearing the word elevation. So some of you, all right, you guys actually elevated. You're now vibrating from a different type of frequency. And so people from your past are not aligned to you anymore. And that it's okay to let things go. I'm even hearing that some of you may have allowed yourself to be stuck when you're actually meant to move forward, when you're actually meant to grow. And with the word integrity, that's you, all right? Knowing what is really true for you, what's right for you. Very nice. I love this. Let's pull up another card. Unexpected visitors. You have chased. And you have the thinking man. Okay, so here's what I'm seeing with these three cards. First, I'm hearing that a lot of you are now more cautious, more aware, is what I'm hearing when it comes to the people that you entertain, the people that you associate yourself with. Okay? Because situations from the past has taught you all of these things. Maybe in the past you easily give your trust to someone, but then for some reason either they did something that made you feel hurt or betrayed. And so now with this unexpected visitors, just by looking at this image over here, we see here a small girl or a young girl, and she's carefully peeking outside. So I'm hearing the word cautious. You're being more cautious now. You just don't allow any people, okay, just come inside of that door. Because again, you've learned a lot from the past. You're more aware now as well of the energies. That's another thing I'm hearing. Number two, I'm also getting this message that in the past, it was so hard as well for you to embrace the truth. Like deep down, you know that there's something off. That deep down, you know that there is something that is not really right for you anymore. But you try to kind of like look away, or you don't want to accept it. That it was so hard for you to accept the truth or to face the truth. But they're showing me here that eventually, since this reading is all about what have you healed already, you have realized that there's no point in running away from the truth. I'm not going to help myself if I do that. And so again, you are brave enough to see the truth and to take some actions on it. Look at that with this thinking man. He's holding this clear crystal over here, kind of like clear quartz, which is all about clarity, okay? And that's actually what I'm getting. As he contemplated with this observe card over here about your situation, you had this wake-up call. You had this huge realization of what needs to be let go of. What is good and what is not right for you. Wow. Let's see what else. It can be environment, okay? Are you still in the right environment? So some of you felt as if that if I continue to stay in the same space or environment, I will not grow, okay? Either some of you tried to hold yourself back from growing, or it can also be that other people around you has caused for you to feel that way. Like what I said, you had the courage to overcome that because you've realized a lot of things. That it's about time to let things go. So I can be who I truly am. I can be free, and I can pursue what makes me truly happy. That's what I'm hearing. Wow. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Look at that card, fear. You were just talking about like either you held yourself back, all right, from moving forward, or you held yourself back in the past from growing, okay? Others of you, it can be other people around you, kind of like left you, feeling trapped, or they wanted you to be stuck where they are. But again, you're meant to grow. You're meant to elevate. And that it's okay to let things go. Even people who are not aligned to your vibration. For some of you, with this environment and fear, I feel that you were actually in that space. You're always in this place of fear, but you were able to replace that with courage. And kudos to you, group number 1. Give yourself a pat on the back. Wow. It's really interesting because it says here, liberating love. And we see here this cage, all right? At one point, you were inside that cage for way too long. You were trapped, okay? Because of your own fear. And like what I said, for some of you, it's hard for you to kind of like accept some things that instead of acknowledging it, you tend to look away. Like, no, I don't want to see the truth. And so at one point, you realize that the more that you do that, the more that you're not aligned to your truth, okay? The more that it's also keeping you trapped. But then again, like what I said, group number 1, it's nice to see that you were able to liberate yourself from what's putting you in this stuck state. Whether it's an environment, a toxic connection, whatever, okay? Let's see what else. Yeah, you've contemplated about that. Wow. You got the Hermit card over here. I feel that a lot of you did that you needed to withdraw a little bit, step aside and go within. And with you doing that, it helped you to realize and to see things clearly, just like with this guy looking at this quartz crystal or this clear quartz. It's like the Hermit, because this is the Hermit card. In order for you to see what you've been searching for or to achieve clarity or enlightenment, you have to withdraw so you can see the bigger picture. A lot of you did so much work on yourself. I also heard that. And I tell you, your guides, your spiritual team are so proud of you for doing that. Oh, he saw me shuffle. I can't make that up. It says courage. And that's why I said your guides, group number 1, they're so proud of you. Okay? At one point, you were afraid. And that's okay. We all experience fear, right? But you overcame that. That's what truly matters. Because you replace, I just said that earlier, you replace fear with courage. You are a warrior, group number 1. Some of you, what I'm actually hearing is that because of your fear, because of how you see yourself, maybe in the past you kind of like saw yourself as if you're powerless, you're helpless. Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. And that's you running away from the reality of things. You realize that if you continue to do that, you're not helping yourself to evolve or to grow. Until you did the hermit mode, right? And eventually you realize, hey, you know what? I've got to change my reality, all right? I have to face the reality and accept the truth. And I have the power to change my situation. And this is what truly happened for a lot of you. Wow. Gosh, you guys, give yourself, I tell you, a pat on the back. If you haven't done that already. But anyway, let's pull it more. Oh my gosh, what? 2 cards with a word that says solitude. I can't make that up. Some of you even went through some sort of like depression, okay? Because I'm getting, feelings of isolation is what I'm actually hearing when I saw these 2 cards that says solitude. Yeah. And what I heard is that For some of you, you actually realize that you're never alone, okay? Your guides, your ancestors, the angels are actually with you, walking with you. And they gave you courage. I heard that, okay? They gave you courage. Just to share to you guys, this is real quick. In the past, I was so hurt and disappointed because I got myself mixed up with a lot of toxic people. And even friends that I thought were real or true to me. And at that time, I was always thinking of it in a very negative way, like, oh my gosh, I don't have real friends. I thought they were real, but this is what they're doing. And so that's how I used to think. But then eventually, I realized that I'm blessed after all, okay? That I have my family with me, my ancestors, my spiritual team, and that I'm never alone after all. I'm even more blessed, okay? So I feel that some of you also experience that, all right? Wow. Okay, so let's pull up more. Yeah. And since you've contemplated about the situation, you've contemplated about what is it that I need to walk away from? Because again, you got the Eight of Cups, walking away from something that is not right for you. You took action, okay? You followed through. Wow. Some of you tried to put more of your focus on your goals. What's going to make you happy? Nice. Yeah. And as you did that, you're now more aligned, okay? That's what I'm hearing when I saw this perfect harmony card. As you did all of those inner work and you realize a lot of things, you've walked away from things that are actually not going to make you happy, things that only are keeping you stuck and stagnant. And then you move towards what is right for you. You realize, right, all these things, and you're more aligned now to your truth. You're more aligned now on what makes you truly happy. Yeah, because for some of you with the grief, no wonder you got the Solitude card twice. It says here, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. So I feel that a lot of you are really sad over some situations from the past. It was so hard for you to accept it. I keep on hearing it, okay? Whether it's a bad breakup, it's you losing a loved one even since we got to your grief, okay? But like what I said, the first step to healing is acknowledgement or acceptance. And so I feel a lot of you realize that, yeah, I can't stay this way forever. I have to be courageous enough to take action, to move forward, just like with this cheetah over here. And you realize things, situations, or even connections from the past just actually taught you a lot of valuable lessons, okay? It's just really part of your journey. But it's about time for you to move forward. It's about time for you to embrace a new beginning for yourself, instead of allowing yourself to be grieving over the past, okay? Kind of like a Five of Cups energy. All right. Let's see what else. Oh my gosh. It says here, you are good enough. Right. I feel this is also what has helped a lot of you guys to walk away from something that you know deep down is not right for you. Remember, that's what it says on the integrity card. Yeah. You realize that you're good enough and that you realize your true value, your true worth. Some of you, maybe in the past, you're afraid to shine. You're afraid to show your capabilities, your potential. You try to shy away. That's actually what I'm getting when I saw this fear card too. But then you had this awakening, you had this realization that I should actually see myself differently, okay? Maybe some of you with a fear card, you're afraid of judgment as well. And that's something that you were able to heal yourself from as well. Okay, now let's move on to the next set of cards. Let's just put this aside. Meditation. Enjoy life. Not everything in the world is yours to fix. Pride. Porcupine spirit. Time for beginner mind. Pig spirit. Use your mind wisely. Interesting. And then sweet dream. Wow. Okay, so I'm actually hearing a lot of messages just by looking at all these cards. So the first message is this. With a meditation card, I feel that, yeah, a lot of you did that, all right? Because we've seen a lot of, cards around you needing to isolate yourself, all right? So you can actually go within. And yeah, similar to the meditation card, all right? Some of you literally did that because you needed some space for yourself. You needed some time to think. I won't be surprised if some of you are also empaths, okay? All right? And if you are, if you're a light worker too, or a healer, because I'm hearing that right now from Spirit, first and foremost, what they're actually saying is that they're proud of you for what you are doing and what you have done for the people around you. But they're actually kind of like saying here that what you have gone through or what you have been through, it has helped you to realize to create some boundaries even for yourself, that you can only do as much, okay? That's why it says here, enjoy life. Not everything in the world is yours to fix. Because I feel a lot of you guys are really compassionate people. You really wanted to be of service. You wanted to help. But there are some things that you can't fix by yourself. For some of you, you kind of like allowed people, all right, to rely on you. I don't know, who is this for? Like, even though it may be a good thing that you're helping these people, but without you realizing, you were able to kind of like enable them, all right, to depend on you. There's something about crossing boundaries, okay? Because if you truly wanted to help a person, you don't have to do everything for them. Otherwise, you are just enabling these people to cling on to you, depend on you. And if you're not doing what you used to do, you would suddenly, get a violent reaction from them or make you feel as if that you're this bad person, that you've changed. I don't know, who is this for? I'm hearing that right now. Okay, but that's the lesson they needed to learn. That it's okay to help, but you should create boundaries. That it's not your job to fix someone's life. Okay? It's their journey, and you have your own journey as well. Another message based on this, these cards over here, is that for some of you, you have realized that it's about time for this beginner's mind. Meaning, it's okay for you as well to learn new things, all right? I don't know, I'm hearing that. Like, you have to be open to learning something new. to be flexible. And then he got pig spirit. Use your mind wisely. Yeah, I feel this is also what you have realized or learned in your journey. That you have to put your focus or your thoughts on the things that would be beneficial for you. Are you always putting your focus and thoughts on things that would pull you down? Things that would drain you? Things like that. And that's why I got the sweet dreams. Because you deserve to rest. Okay? You deserve some space. With the pride, what I'm actually getting here as well is that, yeah, like what I said, sometimes it's hard for us to, accept things, right? Maybe because of this is your version of the truth. And that's why I got time for beginner's mind. And when you're actually not accepting of other information, all right, other than what you have learned already, okay, this is going to trigger you. This is going to make you feel as if what that person is saying or the situation is actually going to make you feel as if you're being attacked. I don't know. I'm hearing that right now from Spirit. Okay. So again, the lesson here is for you to be open. All right. And finally, with the pride, this is also for other viewers of group number 1, in which you realize your worth, your value, all right? Because you used to allow yourself to be stuck in the wrong company, all right? Connections, or anything that is not right for you. Wow. Okay, so here's what we're going to be doing now. Let's pull up some random messages before we wrap things up. Let's see what your spiritual team wanted to tell you. Any message for group number 1, please? Okay, you got your tranquility. Interesting, because you got the meditation, which is also a peace card. And it says, trust. All will turn out well. Everything will fall into place. Peace of mind and tranquility are soon restored. Isn't that a very beautiful message? Let's pull up another random message for you guys. Cleanse. Oh, yes. It says here, your body, mind, and soul are urging you to take time out for some much needed cleansing. Just as you wash your car, your house, or tidy your office, your body also needs care and attention. It's time for some spiritual, emotional, and physical cleansing. So either this is also what you have done, okay, what you've healed. You've cleansed yourself from dirty energies. You've released yourself from things that are draining you, okay? But for some of you, this can be a message as well from your spiritual team, that this is a time for you to cleanse, okay? Cleanse any negative, low vibrational energies that could be affecting you right now. Because I tell you, they're already saying here that whatever challenge that you're faced with right now, group number 1, trust that everything will turn out well, okay? Be at peace. Take some time out. That's actually what I'm hearing too. All right, let's pull up more. Wow, you have a lot of messages here. So yeah, let's take a look. Let's start off with this one. It says here, every relationship goes through changes, but this does not mean that the love has gone. Let this be a time of reflection. Some adjustments may be needed. Perhaps a new purpose needs to be discovered. It may feel cold and lonely, but beneath the surface, the earth is warming to the promise of spring. In the meanwhile, express how you feel, gently, lovingly, and honestly. Let yourselves be vulnerable and hold each other tight. Isn't that a very beautiful message? And yeah, that's true. Every relationship goes through changes, okay? Maybe there are some things that needs to be adjusted. And sometimes as well for the connections that we thought would last forever and something came up, all right? That's part of life. Some people, they're just meant to stay, in one chapter of your life, but that doesn't mean that they would actually stay with you. And that's the reality of things, right? Let's see another one. It's time to step into your power and create an enchanted world. It can be if you wanted it to be. For just as the oak tree is hidden in its seed, so too the god and goddess that is hidden within you. Reason devoid of feeling is simply harsh judgment. So listen to your heart also and move beyond the boundaries that you place around yourself. Yeah, I feel this is also what you've done, group number 1. All right? You were finally able, because you got the courage card, you're finally able to step into your power. You realize your true power. Remember I said something like some of you at one point you felt powerless and helpless. I can't do this. But yeah, you were able to get your power back. And then lastly, it says here, are you feeling a little lost and confused? Wondering which direction, if any, to take and questioning what it is that you really want from life? Perhaps it's time to consult your inner child. The one that you've kept locked away for ages, the one who holds the essence of the real you. Isn't it time to listen to your heart? Yeah, for some of you, it's also inner child healing, okay? That can also be what a lot of you guys have healed from. But this, again, can also be a message for the rest of you guys. Only take what applies, okay? All right, so before we wrap things up, let's actually read what is actually written on this liberating love card that you chose. And we'll also refer to the guidebook for some additional messages, okay? It says here, this is a mantra, by the way, they can also use. I allow myself to receive all the fulfillment I'm willing to give. So yeah, let's actually take a look at the guidebook. So it says here, when love is liberated, your heart remains open to all the gifts that life has to offer. As love is liberated from the emotional wounds of the human condition, it becomes easy to accept, forgive, and receive. When such actions seem exhausting, it is simply a sign that your heart doesn't feel safe enough to remain open. When this occurs, your will's freedom to embrace each tender corner of your consciousness will allow opening up to resume. When the heart has permission to open, your love is liberated, and you can shine a light into all levels of reality to awaken the truth of all. Wow. So basically, this mantra is ideal for learning how to believe in yourself, right? See, I told you guys. Oh my gosh. It says here, promoting self-realization and integrating the shadow. Oh my gosh. Your reading is so fantastic. And I tell you, group number 1, honor your journey. Honor how far you've come. It's about time to celebrate yourself, right? And that's why I got the message earlier to enjoy life. And that it's okay to be you, okay? Give yourself a permission to be just you. That's another message that's coming through. Anywho, that's all I have for you. I hope you were able to pick up something from this. And again, this is a reading for you to celebrate your success, okay? To celebrate how far you've come in life and the things that you have healed. Now, even though you may actually find yourself wondering why some old wounds would be resurfacing, and you're like, oh my gosh, I thought I've healed from that already. That's normal. That is normal, you guys. It happens. Okay? Anywho, that's all. I'll see you next week. Ta-ta. Okay, group number 2, you chose this card, and it says here, rewiring the nervous system. But let's put that aside for now. We'll uncover first, what have you healed already, and the things that you've learned so far in your journey. Spirit guides, archangels, and angels, please provide some guided messages for the collective we chose, group number 2. You have here Six of Cups. Ooh, Seven of Swords. Three of Coins. Ten of Wands in reverse. Empress. And you have here High Priestess. Bottom of the deck, Seven of Wands. Okay, gosh, I can't believe it, because while I was shuffling, there are so many messages, and I was like, okay, how do I start now? Wow. All right, so let's start off with this. What I'm hearing, number one, for some of you, what you have healed already so far in your journey, it's definitely related to your past, okay? Because you got the Six of Cups over here. And I feel that it was a heavy past for most of you, or for a lot of you, okay? I'm hearing that for some of you, it's around certain type of connections that you've dealt with, in which either you felt really hurt by these people or by this person. It can be somebody that you really trusted so well, but only to find out that this person or these people doesn't have the best of intentions for you. It was so hard. They're also showing me here that for some of you, you have already healed from some mother wounds, okay? Or inner child issues. I'm even hearing that when you were growing up, if you're resonating with, yes, I'm not close to my mother, or how she actually treated me when I was growing up affected me so much in my adulthood, you've healed from that. You used to resent your mother or your parent. But eventually, you found the spiritual lesson with High Priestess. You're able to uncover something, okay? Which help you to see all these traumatic experiences in a different way, okay? Your perception around what you have gone through became different. You no longer see it as totally negative, all right? In which you would always try to sulk in one corner and see yourself as if that you are a victim from those circumstances or from those experiences. For others of you, I'm actually also hearing the word boundaries, okay? Maybe in the past, because you have this very giving, loving nature as the Empress. You kind of like enabled, is what I'm hearing, people to treat you poorly, right? Because it's so hard for you to establish boundaries. What happened was they took advantage of that with this Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is a thief card. So they kind of like, use your kindness, or they abused your kindness. But that experience taught you now how to be careful in associations or the certain type of connections that you welcome in your life now. And you've learned how to set up some proper boundaries. Some of you also had the courage to finally speak up, okay? That you won't just allow people to treat you like dirt. You don't have to be violent. You don't have to be angry, all right? But it's just you setting up some proper boundaries. That you're not the same person as before, in which you just allow them to walk all over you, order you around, or do some things that is really uncomfortable for you. I feel for group number 2 as well, you've realized your true power, because at one point you have given away your power to all these people or to someone. Gosh, there's so many messages. Let's move on to the next. So again, we're seeing inner child wounds or some mama or daddy issues, all right? Others of you, it's a really, really painful connection in which you thought that this person was really, somebody they can trust, but they betrayed you, okay? And it left a lot of scars in you. But it's a good thing that you're healed from that, okay? You're seeing your past differently now. Books. Yeah. Ace of Air in reverse. Oh my gosh. And you got your open up. So I'm actually hearing 2 messages just by looking at these 3 cards. The first message that came through is this. Some of you, like what I said, you were actually around connections. So again, it can be a love connection, it can be a friend, whatever, okay? In which they're actually not being very open and transparent to you. And you've realized that this is actually not what you wanted in a relationship or in any sort of connection. And remember earlier, you got the 7 of Swords, which is a deception card. So I won't be surprised, group number 2, if you've been, dealing in the past with some deceptive people. People wearing a mask. People are not being very truthful towards you. I even heard, some of you have given them benefit of the doubt, okay? But it became worse. Until some of you found out the real truth. Number 2, by looking at all these 3 cards, I'm also hearing something about you being authentic, okay? This is what you have healed already. Maybe in the past, you kind of are not comfortable in accepting who you are, embracing your truth, or even speaking your truth. Either it's because of you're afraid of how people would actually perceive you, or that you might be judged even. That's another message that's coming through. Interesting, because it says here, open up, okay? And then you got books, like an open book. So there's really something about you healing from that. That it's okay to be open. That it's okay to be vulnerable. That it's okay to express myself. So again, that's why I'm also picking up authenticity for some of you viewers of group number 2. Let's pull up another. Wide open. Oh my gosh. You got open up and now you got wide open. Yeah, look at that. Leadership. kidding me? He got your fifth chakra, which is all about throat chakra. And then he got your broken heart. So let's actually start off with the throat chakra over here. Because since we have the Ace of Air in reverse, and earlier we were just talking about communication, open and honest communication, or you expressing yourself. This is what Spirit is really highlighting for some of you. In the past, it was so hard for you to express yourself freely. You hold yourself back from expressing yourself. And therefore, when you try to kind of like hold yourself back from speaking up or expressing yourself the way you wanted it to be, it's creating a blockage for you. For some of you, it came to a point that you're not being very authentic anymore. You tried to put up this front, okay? But it kind of like backfired on you. That's what I'm hearing. And so, yeah, somebody watching group number 2 was able to heal that, all right? To heal some throat chakra issues, that it's okay to express myself. That I have the right to speak up. And I know that I'm heard, okay? Some of you, speaking of which, this is also part of your frustration. You felt as if that you're not heard, okay? And you really took that as an injury. I'm also hearing, just by looking at all of these cards, that for some of you, you are a very strong individual with this leadership card over here. And look at that. We have this warrior woman, okay? You don't have to be a woman, okay? You can switch roles. But I'm just really getting here that you are this very independent, really strong person. And so, even though that is good, some of you, viewers of group number 2, the downside is that you don't want to show your weakness. So again, that's why I got open up. You got the books card. There's something about not expressing yourself freely. Because you have to put up this front. You have to appear that you are either indestructible, right? Or that I shouldn't show my weakness. But long in your journey, you realize that it's okay to be myself. That even the strongest person out there, they do have weaknesses. We all have weaknesses. We all have moments in which we are not as strong as we wanted it to be. And that is okay. That is normal. And that's what you have learned so far, or healed from so far. Another message that's coming through, because there's so many messages for group number 2, I notice, all right? Several scenarios, actually, is that you really kind of like gave your power to people. Some of you actually kind of like tried to put other people on a pedestal. And you're not believing in yourself, okay? You're always seeing yourself as if you're small, okay? But then you realize that that's not true, okay? With this leadership card over here, this is a sign that you realize your own power. That I shouldn't also give away my power to anyone. And that you don't care as well about how people are going to be perceiving you. At one point, some of you are afraid of how you're actually going to be judged by everyone else. Okay? And then lastly, I'm also hearing that with this leadership card, some of you allowed yourself to be mixed up. That was so strong. You allowed yourself to be mixed up with the wrong type of connections. because that's also a sign that you really don't have self-worth or value. That even though deep down you know that there are red flags, all right, that this is not who you truly are. Again, there's something about authenticity for group number 2. You just allowed yourself to do it. But eventually, you got heartbroken. So either those people that you thought that you've admired, all right, would never do all these things towards you. It's interesting. It says here, you will be judged by the company you keep and those you admire. Right. Kind of like, yeah, similar to tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. Okay? Because I'm really getting that for group number 2. Some of you got really mixed up in a type of friendship or relationship or connection in which it lacks authenticity. Or that they're not really aligned to your truth. They're not really good for you. And then lastly, with this broken heart, all right, again, this is just, a sign that you went through a lot of heartbreak, okay? Because some of you felt betrayed as well, since there's a lot of messages around openness. Somebody's not being very truthful. And this really left a scar. Look at that. Some of you are even afraid now to trust, okay? But it's not like you have to put your walls up, but it's just you being a lot more careful now around connections, or who do you open up to, okay? Oh, let's see. Let's pull up another set of cards here. Yeah, completion. Realization. Fragmented energy. And then solitude. Oh my gosh, this is very straightforward. So based on these cards, what I'm actually hearing that for some of you, what you've healed already or what you've learned so far in your journey is that in the past, you always kind of like try to get some validation from outside source or from other people, okay? You would only feel happy or feel complete, because I'm going to read this differently, complete if you're actually with this person, let's just say. You thought that your source of happiness would always come outside of yourself, all right? And that if that person is actually not around, then everything else is pointless, all right? But eventually you have this huge awakening or realization that that's not true. Some of you, you're always kind of like, again, looking for some answers, because I'm drawn to the images of the puzzle pieces, okay? And then you got keyhole over here. And you have solitude card over here. So there's actually something about searching for some answers. Searching for some solution. And you try to look for that from outside of you. Only to realize eventually, okay, that it's been there inside of you all along. And that's why I said earlier, a lot of you chose group number 2. You probably thought in the past that you have to look for answers or some things outside of yourself. You try to look for that outside, of yourself. But you came to realize that it's been there inside of you all along. All right. For instance, a good example would be this. You try to find love outside of yourself. There's something about attachments. There's something about needing to be in a certain type of company so you can feel whole. All right? But your journey has taught you to learn that you have to be whole on your own first. You have to complete yourself. You're already complete, actually. That you don't have to find that outside of yourself. Which is amazing. I'm so, so proud of you guys. That you were able to realize that. I can resonate with that, honestly. And so this is great that you finally had this aha moment. Like, yeah, I used to, kind of like try to find happiness outside of myself, or I would only feel happy if I'm actually with someone, or if I'm actually in a relationship, because I don't want to be alone. That's why I got the solitude, right? It was a hard lesson for some of you, honestly, okay? And then another thing that I'm also hearing, because there's so many messages I noticed for group number 2, is that, again, with the image of the puzzle here, like what I said, some of you were in a connection in which there's a lot of mystery, okay? Just like this puzzle. In a type of connection where it lacks clarity. Either they're not being very straightforward with you, they're not being very open and honest with you. And no wonder you got the deception card. But when some of you realize the entire truth, it really broke your heart. Okay? It really did. Yeah, you got your patience and planning. With the patience and planning, I feel that, yeah, one, you were really patient with yourself and with the situation before, okay? Because I'm hearing earlier, like you tried to either give this person multiple chances, or you actually try to give them a benefit of the doubt. Like, oh, I don't think that that person is going to be doing that to me. I don't think so. That's not true. I'm hearing someone saying that, honestly. But when you actually found out the real truth, you were like, what? And that really hurts so deep. But for others of you with the patience and planning card, I feel this is also what you've learned. You've learned to be patient as well. Okay? Even when it comes to your healing. All right? Healing is not an overnight process. Especially if you've been through something really, really heavy. Especially for group number 2, because I'm hearing that. Like, I keep on hearing the word scar. All right? You were really scarred by your past experiences. And healing takes time. Okay? Healing takes time. Let's move on to the next set of cards. Yeah. Because after that, you got the regeneration. Which means that even though, all right, the past experiences has left you feeling drained or even empty, okay, you were really patient with yourself or in your own healing. And here you are with the regeneration, you're coming back, okay? You're rising above the ashes is actually what I'm hearing. There's also something about hope when I saw this card. Because again, I really felt that you guys went through a lot. And those challenges kind of like, really kind of like make you question yourself, or even I'm hearing like some of you lost faith, right? That's really what I'm getting. And by the way, I just heard this right now. Some of you realized that in order for you to have this fresh new start for yourself, because there's actually new leaves growing from this dead tree, that you need to put an end to something from the past, okay? That you can start again. There's something about that. Yeah, oh my gosh, birds of a feather. Are you kidding me? What? You saw me shuffle. And at the same time, you can still remember, I read the message on this leadership card. Let me just pull that up again. It says, you will be judged by the company you keep and those you admire. What did I say earlier? I even said, like, I don't know. I just kind of like heard birds of the same feather flock together, or, yeah, it gives me that impression that maybe some of you hanged out with the wrong crowd, or you got yourself mixed up with connections that are not really right for you. And that's why I got birds of a feather, right? Which is really matching to the message that is written on this card, that you will be judged by the company you keep and those you admire. Tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. That's actually what I got earlier. So, yeah. I feel that for group number 2, you may have some sort of like not so good experiences with, like what I said, connections, friends, people that you used to admire or trust, but then only to find out the truth, okay? And it really did hurt you a whole lot. Yeah, you got regret. At one point, you were in that energy, okay? You were in deep regret. Why you allowed yourself to be mixed up with these type of people. I shouldn't have trusted that person. That's what I'm hearing. But eventually you realize that there's no point in regretting, okay? Because you cannot change the past. Time is an irreversible arrow. And that you were really meant to experience that, because this would help you to grow and to learn. And that's why for most of you, group number 2, you are viewing the past differently now. In the past, you would probably see yourself as if you're a victim, like what I said. But eventually you realize that no, there's a spiritual lesson around those type of experiences and connections. It's just teaching me to become a lot more aware now, right? Because I've learned my lesson, and that there's no point in going back to the past and just blaming myself or everyone else's, okay? Wow, nice. Let's see, what else? Yeah, expect powerful change. Exactamundo. Okay, so I'm really gonna hear, for group number 2, that you have realized that you do have the power to make some changes, okay? Only if you would give your permission to allow yourself to release what's giving you a lot of burdens, what's draining you, what is actually not good for you. In order for you to see some changes, you really do have to make some adjustments, or you really do have to clear up some things that's blocking you from experiencing this new beginning or this new change that you so wanted. And I also feel that because of how you have changed your perception of yourself, of your negative experiences in the past, yeah, it initiated a powerful change in your life. Isn't that amazing? Let's put this aside for now. Let's pull up another set. Let's try this one. Oh my gosh, yeah, you got your uniqueness. Mm-hmm. And then you got your grounding your dreams in reality feels awesome, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Let's pull it more. Let it shine. Yeah, there's really something about confidence here for some of you, which is something that you have healed already. Selling out. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, you got friendship. What? That's why I said earlier, group number 2, for a lot of you, yeah, there's something about friendship because you got birds of a feather, all right? And I even heard at the very beginning of the reading that some of you felt betrayed by this person that you so trust in the past, okay? Or you so, trusted. But anyway, what I'm actually seeing here with all of these cards, okay? Let's start off with confidence because I'm getting that. Some of you, okay, in the past, like what I said, you used to view yourself differently. You used to view yourself as if you're small, is actually what I'm getting. You had a hard time accepting yourself. You had a hard time, like expressing yourself even. Like you're afraid to show yourself to the world because of your lack of self-esteem, or that you, again, like what I said, you try to picture yourself in a small way, all right? But eventually, you've realized, you've accepted yourself. You're able to realize as well that you are this unique person, that you are special, okay? That nobody can be like you. So that's why you got the peacock spirit. This is you allowing yourself to shine, showing what you got. He's like with this peacock over here, all right? Trying to show off his beautiful feathers, okay? But that's not to say that you are a show off now. It's just you allowing yourself to shine, not being afraid on what people are going to say or how people are going to be judging you or perceiving you. That it's okay to be who you truly are, this unique and special person that you are. You're wearing your crown now, is actually what I'm hearing, which is good. I'm so proud of you guys. Because maybe in the past, you used to dim your own light, okay? Another thing that I'm also seeing here is that some of you, what you've healed already, there's something about neediness and attachments, okay? So whether this is you or this was you used to be that person in which you are a bit needy, possessive, or clingy, all right? Because that's actually the message that is also written in here. Neediness is so not pretty, okay? Others of you, this is what you've experienced. You've been around needy people, latching onto your energy, all right? Being very possessive of you. Yeah, because I'm drawn to this image of the uniqueness card where there's actually kind of like pincers of the lobster. So there's something about possessiveness. And you were able to free yourself from that. Some negative attachments, all right? unhealthy relationships or connections or even friendship. Okay? Maybe you thought that these were, real friends for you. You probably thought that, yeah, there is that really beautiful balance in this type of connection. Like what I said, some of you learn things the hard way. You realize that you've attracted these type of people. It's because of you do not value yourself. Okay, there's something about that. We can't always just blame the people that we have dealt with from their past. Okay, why we got mixed up, why we got ourselves associated with these type of people. Because like what I always say, relationships are mirrors. Okay, if you truly have a good relationship with yourself, all right, and you value and respect yourself, your choices when it comes to certain type of friendships or relationships or connections would also be different. It would be reflecting back on you as well. You get what I'm saying? And I feel that this is also what most of you have healed already or have learned in your journey. I love this reading, honestly. Okay, so let's actually pull up some random messages for you guys before we wrap things up. Message for group number 2. Okay, what is this? Alchemy. All right. Your inner light shines when you are at peace with yourself and the world around you. Let go of the struggle and feel the beauty inside you. Oh my gosh. And it says here, allow all to just be and just be you. This is exactly what we were just saying earlier. And this is part of what you have learned, okay? To just be yourself. Be your unique self. That's what I said earlier. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love this. I feel that either this is a message for some of you, but I also feel that this is what you have learned in your journey, okay? You allowed your inner light to shine now because you got the message, let it shine, right? You're not dimming your own light. At one point, this is what you've done to yourself. Let's pull up more. Just ask. And it says here, there are many here in the spirit world that can assist you at this time. We are made up of the divine source, your loved ones, friends, guides, angels, and spirit helpers who are waiting to assist you. We are your spiritual team, and all you have to do is ask for help and guidance. So for some of you, this can be a message. So anytime you're actually, going through some whirlwind of emotions or emotional turmoil, or you feel as if that you're alone, all right, this is your guide saying, we're here, all right? We're one huge team. All you need to do is just ask. And for some of you, this may also be the lesson or what you have healed, okay? Because maybe in the past, it was so hard for you to be open and be willing to receive help, okay? So again, either it's a message right now for some of you, or this is actually something that you've learned in your journey. And it's also something that you've healed by being more open to accept support or to receive help and support. Let's pull up another one here. You are an ocean of light unfolding through the infinite space of life. Through the space between each thought, you can see your true immortal nature. The oneness of spirit that dreamt itself into the many is a part of you. I just used the word whirlwind. Oh my gosh, this is creepy. It says here, like a whirlwind from heaven, it appears and reappears in its endless forms. Because that's crazy. That's what I was hearing earlier. Yeah. Wow. Guys, you are really special. Okay? I feel as well that for group number 2, you had to go through all of those tough situations for you to discover your power. to discover who you truly are. That's another message that I just heard right now. So, anyway, let's actually read the message from this mantra card that you chose. So, you chose Rewiring the Nervous System. And it says, I find strength in surviving my traumas. Yeah, exactly. Because you guys are strong, all right? Maybe that's why I heard earlier the word scar, all right? You were really scarred from the past. But like what I said, you are viewing your past differently now. If in the past you always see yourself as if you're a victim, all right? Now you're seeing yourself as this strong, brave person, okay? And that the past just taught you some lessons, some valuable lessons. Wow, this is so nice. So let's actually read some additional information from the guidebook. So it says here, when the nervous system is rewired, you are no longer trapped in the memories of your body. You are the courageous hero, there you go, or heroine of your present reality, honoring every moment of hardship as the means through which your infinite strength and greatest depth of character is revealed. Exactly. That's just exactly what I was talking about. Wow. As you rewire your nervous system, you're no longer responding to life from the vantage point of your painful past. Are you kidding me? But instead are open to each encounter being more miraculous than the moment before. So basically, this mantra, you may also want to use this. I find strength in surviving my traumas. So this mantra is actually ideal for adjusting to life after loss, healing heartbreak, and becoming more optimistic. Wow, what a journey for group number 2. I'm so freaking proud of you guys, and you should be, okay? Because like what I said, I wanted to come up with this reading for you guys to honor how far you've actually come, okay? To celebrate your success. To celebrate how far you have grown, okay? Or how much, rather, you have grown from this journey, okay? So that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're able to pick up something from it, as always. And I will see you next week. Bye now. Now it's your turn, group number 3. Chose this card that says Demystifying the Darkness, but we'll put that aside for now. And later on, we're going to be reading some information from the guidebook to uncover some information from that card that you chose. But first, let's actually find out, what have you healed so far? Or what have you learned in your journey so far? Spirit guides, archangels, and angels, please provide some guided messages for the collective who chose group number 3. All right, you have here Queen of Cups. You have Wanderer. Oh yeah, he got the 3 of Swords in reverse. Next, he got the Tower. Ooh, look at that. Devil in reverse. And you got the Sun. Bottom of the deck, you have here 8 of Wands. All right, so group number 3, here's what I'm seeing based on these cards that are laid out in front of you. Well, obviously, with the Three of Swords in reverse, this is a really clear sign that you have healed from something really heavy from your past, especially that I'm seeing here the Tower card and the Devil card as well. So either it can actually pertain to some really heavy experiences, some toxicity even. Some of you were able to heal yourself from any addictions. Not for all of you, but I heard that. Or any toxic behaviors. Anything that's blocking you, all right, from becoming this really, amazing person that you truly are. Because I'm hearing self-sabotage for group number 3, honestly. Okay? For some of you, that's something that you have healed already. Or this is something that you are able to learn. I'm hearing as well that for some of you, you were actually having a hard time in the past breaking free from connections that are not really healthy with this Devil card over here. If it's not about some behaviors or addictions, it can be that you were in a connection in which you felt trapped in that connection. It was so hard for you to move on or move forward with this Fool card over here. You felt as if that you were chained, okay? Some of you were even in a narcissistic type of connection. And you allowed this person to kind of like control you or manipulate you. But what I'm actually getting here is that for group number 3, you have realized that these experiences, these situations help you as well to learn what is good for you, what you truly deserve. And you truly deserve to be happy. So it took some time, it took some courage for you to release yourself from whatever it is blocking you from achieving happiness and fulfillment. Lastly, I'm getting here that something happened with the Tower card, either some shakeups or some changes that it was so hard for you to embrace that. And that's normal because change is a scary thing for most of us, all right? Or it would take some time for us to embrace some changes that occurs in our life. There's resistance with the Devil, is what I'm actually hearing. But eventually, you realize that it's about time to let things go. It's about time to release yourself from something that's keeping you trapped, okay? Otherwise, you would never grow, because I'm drawn to all these butterflies over here. Because when something is not really for your highest good, okay, that is only a sign that the universe would actually make some changes for you, all right? Because the universe knows that this situation or even a relationship or connection is not allowing you to grow anymore. And what you're meant to do, group number 3, is to evolve. You're meant to do something else. You're meant to experience something far more better. But at first, because of the resistance, I keep on hearing the word resistance, because of you viewing those changes in a negative way, like, no, I can't. It's hard because I'm used to doing that, or I'm used to being with this type of person. You kind of like, allowed yourself to be trapped there, all right? For a long time even for some of you. But eventually, they're showing me here that you had the courage to finally take that leap of faith. so that you can embrace a brand new beginning. Because the Fool card is always talking about new starts and new beginnings. Very interesting. Let's try to pull up another set of cards. What have you healed already, group number 3? Crystals. Maybe some of you even use crystals in your healing work. Okay? Yeah, Ace of Air in reverse. Yeah, Nine of Swords in reverse. Oh my gosh. So I'm actually seeing here, based on these 3 cards, that in the past, you were in this Nine of Swords energy. Meaning, you spend your time overthinking. You spend your time looking for some clarity or some answers. Because Ace of Air, or Ace of Swords, is talking about breakthroughs, achieving clarity, okay? And because you're not getting the answers that you're seeking for, it is putting you in a state of stress and anxiety, all right? But I feel that you've realized that you're just being hard on yourself. If you continue to overanalyze the situation, if you continue to force yourself to find the answers that you are seeking for, I feel that some of you realize that you have to surrender and allow things to fall into place. Some of you also realize that if I'm actually in this Nine of Swords energy, it's blocking me from seeing the truth. It's blocking me from achieving clarity. I even heard depression. So some of you went through all that as well. Okay. There's so much, stuff going around in your head or in your mind just by looking at this image over here. But again, like what I said, you stepped away from that. You tried to get out of your head, okay? That's another thing that I'm seeing based on this card. Some of you may have worked with crystals, all right? Either something, to ease your worries or your anxieties. I'm even drawn to the purple color. So some of you may have worked with amethyst, okay, which is also a great crystal for soothing any anxiety. So the word anxiety is very strong for group number 3. Let's see what else. Yeah, you got your spirit of place. People. And yeah, you got your healer of the ages. Oh my gosh. This is beautiful. All right, so group number 3, what you have healed already, or the things that you've learned so far in your journey, is that you've learned how to believe in yourself, okay? That was so strong. Some of you used to really view yourself differently as well. Or again, maybe that's why I heard self-sabotage. Like somebody watching group number 3, you're being so hard on yourself. Self-deprecation is also what I heard, okay? Some of you hated yourself so much. It was so hard for you to accept who you truly are. Some of you in the past, you kind of like try to, wear some mask here, because I'm drawn to this image of the people card. You're afraid to show your true self. That you only feel safe if you're going to put on this mask, because you're not confident how people are actually going to respond to you if you show your true self, or if you embrace your own uniqueness. And so you may have found yourself, all right, being, around people in which they're not really aligned to who you truly are, okay? That's what I was hearing. And like, you always wanted to be part of the crowd. You do things that other people are also doing, but deep down you know that this is not who you truly are. But in order to feel accepted and welcomed, like, okay, I'm going to be doing the same things that they're doing, all right? Even though I may be, uneasy or uncomfortable with it, all right? So there's also something about authenticity for group number 3, by the way. Okay? I'm also hearing insecurity for some of you, okay? Because I'm drawn to this image. Like what I said, you used to shy away. You used to think of yourself as if you're not good enough, that you're not amazing, and that you feel that other people are always better than you, or that you would actually look at other people and say to yourself, oh, I wish I'm like that. Although it's normal that we admire other people and, we also compare ourselves with others. But in your situation, for some of you, group number 3, it came to a point that you really hated yourself. And it's hard for you to appreciate and honor who you truly are. And so you have to put on this mask as well. All right, so you can actually be the people that you admire, or be like them, or to be part of the crowd. But they're actually showing me here that eventually you realize, all right, that is unhealthy. That you're not embracing the truth. And that it's okay, again, to be who you are, to be the unique you, okay? With a spirit of place, this is just a sign that you really release something. Because maple leaves is a sign of release for me, okay? That in order for you to welcome a brand new season, or to allow new leaves to grow, you have to drop the dead leaves. So I feel this is what you have done. Either you have released some parts of yourself that is actually not really you, or is not beneficial for you. For some of you, it can be behavior. Others of you can be connections. Again, this is a general reading, so only take what applies. But let's see what else. Oh yeah. For some of you, with this forgiveness card, you have forgiven yourself. You have forgiven others. You have forgiven the situation. Which means you're no longer a prisoner of the past. And that what they have caused you, or what they have done towards you, is not something that is totally acceptable rather, but it's just a sign that you're not allowing yourself to be trapped in the past anymore, okay? That's why you got the devil in reverse, because at one point you were so consumed by hatred or anger or resentment. Either you're angry at yourself, or you're angry with others. But you've learned to forgive. Not only yourself, not only the people who has caused you hurt, but the entire situation. And that's why you got all these maple leaves over here. You've released that. Because forgiveness is a sign that you're letting things go. You're moving on. Otherwise, you would be a prisoner of your past. Yeah, and this is something that you have reflected on, which is good. Maybe it took some time or it took a while for you to really realize that. Because I'm getting for group number 3, there is a strong message from Spirit in which you have realized that the more that you hold on to the past, the more that you hold on to these negative feelings and emotions, it's just making things worse for you. And it's not helping. You're hurting yourself even more. And with this forgiveness card, this is what I always say, that forgiveness is actually a gift to yourself. When you forgive, always remember that you're not just only doing that for that person. Because a lot of people, they try to view forgiveness in a different way. They try to grasp the meaning differently, okay? But forgiveness is also a gift to yourself, because you're not going to allow yourself to be a prisoner of the past. You're not going to allow yourself to be, in this resentful, vengeful energy. Because the more that you do that, the more you're adding a lot of stress for yourself. That for some of you even, it really affected your physical health is what I'm hearing. Okay? And when you truly forgive, you don't go back to the past. You're really letting it go. Just like these maple leaves, all right? Dropping dead leaves. And with this healer of the ages, and this is Jesus Christ. So I'm getting here that a lot of you who chose this pile as well, either you're highly, spiritual or very, very religious, okay? And you've worked even with some ascendant masters. In this case, it's Jesus Christ, okay? So I really feel that, you felt healed, right? You tried to seek for forgiveness, not only for yourself, but for other people. And this transformed you. I keep on hearing the word transformation. I tell you that. So this is transforming you in a very, very beautiful way. Wow. Accelerated motion, and then what? There you go. New beginnings. Exactly. So this is the 8 of Wands energy. And like what I said earlier, I feel that because of in the past, you were still holding on to something negative, okay, that it was so hard for you to let things go. And you kept on replaying it. You kept on thinking about it. It really kept you stuck or trapped in that situation for way too long. But eventually you realize that you hold the key towards your own freedom. Okay? And that you do have the power to close the door from the past and to be courageous enough to move forward. Just like this lady over here, to embrace a brand new journey, a brand new beginning. Because by holding, again, on to the past, most especially if it's a negative experience, it's blocking you from moving forward. It's blocking you from embracing new experiences out there. And that's why forgiveness, the true meaning of forgiveness is letting go. Okay? And you're doing that because you love yourself. It is a gift to yourself. You're hurting yourself more in the process, okay? if you allow yourself to embrace the anger or to be consumed by anger and resentment. I mean, what they have done to you, if you felt wronged by somebody from your past, what they've done towards you is really wrong. But don't add more to it, okay? Yeah, and I feel with you moving forward, you were able to see that a lot of things change in your life. You're perfectly aligned now. You're feeling more at peace because you got this message that says in perfect harmony. Friendship. So for some of you, it can be a friend, okay? Maybe you really felt hurt or wounded by this connection. Either this person wasn't really a real friend to you, or you thought that this friend was really nice, and maybe something came up, okay? You found out the truth. But always remember that people, regardless whether it's a lover, it's a friend, they came to our life for a reason, all right? But it depends on how you're going to be perceiving that connection. So even if it's a bad experience, even if it's a really, really horrible and negative experience, we have the power to look at things differently. How about if we view that negative experience with a friend from your past or a lover from your past in such a way that that person hurt me so bad? Yes, that's true. But that person initiated some changes within me. Because if it weren't for the things that that person or those people has done, I wouldn't realize how powerful I am. I wouldn't realize the things that I needed to heal from within. And then it's time to take action. If you notice, there's a lot of movement now. Because like what I said, in the past, you were stuck there for way too long. I keep on hearing it from Spirit. That's why I got the Devil card. It's like you're chained by that negative, and horrible experience for way too long. But it's the universe's way of letting you know, or your guides saying to you that, let it go. Okay? Break free from this, chain or this man-made prison. I'm even hearing, okay, all of a sudden, when I saw this image of Jesus Christ with the healer of the ages, one pastor actually said, and I'll never forget what that pastor said. He even said that, do you know that your enemies can also be honorable friends? I was like, what? Honorable friends? How come? Because yes, they did hurt you, but they actually push you towards God. They actually push you towards the divine for you to have a close relationship with the divine. And that's exactly what I was trying to point out earlier. That even though it was really horrible, it was really much like a nightmare. It was a chaotic experience. There's always something, right, that you would learn from that experience. Why that connection had to happen. Why you met these type of people. It happened for a reason. Oh my gosh, I love this reading. So we're not done yet. Let's just put this aside for now. Let's try this one. Oh yeah, look at that. Remembrance. And it says here, remembering, love, loss, healing. Some of you, not necessarily had a negative experience, but in such a way that that person did you, really wrong or what. But maybe you've healed from losing a loved one, right? Either you just parted ways and it took some time, but you finally, embraced the changes. You finally embrace the reality that it's about time to let things go and to accept that things are different now. Now, if it's actually a loved one who is now in the spirit world, I feel that you realize as well that, yeah, it was so painful, it was so hard, but I know that that person that I lost would always be actually there watching over me. Because I'm also hearing that for some of you, you may have lost a loved one, whether it's a parent or what, or it's just that you and that person are no longer seeing each other. You had to part ways. Because some connections, they're not really meant to stay. Okay? And hard as it may be for us to embrace that or accept that, eventually, you realize that that is the reality. That's the truth. Okay, what is this? Are you truly being selfless? You are enough without having to give all of you to others. Wow, okay, yeah. We have this piece of cake over here. Let's pull up more. Bring a gentle touch. Okay, let's pull up another one. So many cards. What is this? How teachable are you? Yeah. Oh my gosh. And that idea, right? Okay, so I'm hearing so many messages here, honestly. Let's start off with this one. With the how teachable are you? Okay, I feel that what you've healed from, or what you've learned, at least in your journey so far, is that there are some things that you really needed to be open to, okay? And to be flexible and grasping, or being open and willing to learn new things. Maybe there were some things that happened to you in the past in which you're kind of like having a hard time accepting it, or you don't want to look into it, okay? Because I'm hearing that when I saw this, how teachable are you? Are you willing to learn? Maybe at one point, some of you were kind of like a bit stubborn. I'll be very honest, all right? And either you may have viewed it as an attack. I'm hearing that right now. Yeah, it's for someone watching group number 3. Like you may have perceived it as an attack, or that these people or that person actually did that to hurt you, but not necessarily to hurt you. But maybe, that situation has taught you as well this lesson to be open and to be willing to grasp new ideas. That's why I got the idea card over here. Another thing that I'm also seeing based on these cards is that for some of you, like what I said, there's something about self-worth, okay? Because it says here, you are enough without having to give all of you to others. So whether these are relationships or friendships or whatever, in which you may always, try to overly give. You have given everything to others. And I feel it's also because of you're doing that because you felt that if I do all these things, if I actually, yeah, extend some help to others, that's making me feel good on the inside. That's for you to prove to yourself that you are good enough, okay? But you don't have to overly give. You don't have to give all of yourself entirely, all right, to a person or to others just to prove your worth or your value, in other words. And like what I said, for some of you, only felt kind of like, yeah, good because of you are in this type of connection. You felt that you're actually getting some sort of like appreciation, or you're getting your value from other people, only to realize that you have to find that in yourself. No other people can actually, give that to you. You have to find that to yourself. You have to give that to yourself, even when it comes to love, all right? You have to love yourself first instead of, finding love from outside of yourself all the time. And with the remembrance, I feel that, yeah, this is you healing from this loss and accepting the fact that there are some things really that you need to let go of. Another thing I'm hearing is that you're remembering the past differently now. That's another message that just came through. If in the past you always look back and feel hurt, haven't you noticed, you guys? That's a huge sign when you're actually fully healed. That when you try to talk about the past, it's like you're really comfortable in talking about it, that you really don't get triggered, or you really don't get so much emotional anymore, that you can freely talk about it. That is a sign that you're healing, or that you have healed from that situation. So anyway, let's try to pull up some messages for you guys. Let's see what's going to come up here. Be proud. Wow. It says here, it's time to celebrate all that you've achieved, all that you are, and all that you will become. Every once in a while, it's important to stop and acknowledge what you have achieved and to be proud. Exactly. And this is the point of this reading, you guys. Because this reading is for you to celebrate your journey. That even though you may have gone through so many difficult, challenges and a lot of hurt and pain or disappointments, you have to honor how far you've come, right? So be proud. I feel your guys are really wanting for you to give yourself a pat on the back, to celebrate how far you've come and how much you have grown from this. The fact that they're very much proud of you, group number 3, you should be too, okay? And again, there's something about confidence, really. So maybe for some of you, this is also what you've healed already, or what you've learned in your journey. You're more confident now. You're more confident to, show yourself to the world. Because again, earlier with the people card, if you still remember, there's a guy's covering his face. And that's amazing that some of you were able to heal any self-esteem issues, self-sabotage. I'm really hearing that. Like you used to hate yourself or look at yourself as if you're just really small, or that you're not good enough. Electricity, thunderbolt, activation. You are subconsciously connecting with the awesome power that lies in the energy of the stars. Intergalactic transmission from a place beyond time. A message is coming. Be open-minded. Oh my gosh. There's really something about being flexible, being open-minded. That's weird. That kept on repeating For group number 3, by the way. This can be a message for you guys. But it can also be that for some of you, this is also what you have learned. Some of you, you were able to discover the amazing power that lies within you. Okay? Some of you are star seeds. And yeah, with the color green, some of you, what I'm hearing, it's heart chakra. That's what you've healed because you were really hurt over the past. Okay, yeah, a lot of greens. Oh my gosh. So let's start off with this one. It says, this card signifies expansion and the accomplishment and success that come as a result of doing what you love or something that has great meaning for you. You are creating something of lasting value that will be enjoyed by others for years to come. A strong sense of teamwork and fulfillment abound. Wow, you're actually expanding, you're growing. And I feel this is also what you have learned. That if you allow yourself to be stuck, okay, and that you're not open to learning new things, all right? You're not open to try out new experiences, it will prevent you from growing, all right? You'll be there for as long as you wanted, okay? But I feel that your soul is longing for expansion too. Group number 3, okay? Nice. All right, what else? Tune into the subtle and divine force within me, and you shall sense the subtle and divine force within yourself and all living things. Over the coming days, there is a heightened sense of spiritual connection with Isis. Oh my gosh. Goddess of motherhood, magic, and fertility. So yeah, that can be a message for some of you guys, all right? So, before we wrap things up, let me actually read what is written from this card that you actually chose. So it says here, demystifying the darkness. And it says, my shadow shows me where my love needs to be sent. Yeah, that is so nice. So maybe some of you actually tried to work with your shadow self. I'm really also getting that. There's something about you embracing your shadow side. We all have a shadow side, okay? But instead of actually, kind of like looking at it or perceiving it differently, that's why it says here, my shadow shows me where my love needs to be sent. I feel that you're being gentle and really compassionate as you do this shadow work. Yeah. So let's actually read the guidebook to get some additional information. So it says here, when darkness is demystified, the scariest feelings, thoughts, ideas, and beliefs are seen as cries for attention from your most hurt and broken parts. Once the darkness is illuminated, you're able to be the light that transforms the dark instead of hiding in the light to avoid moments of darkness. Just as the light can acknowledge how much pain lurks in darkness, it is the power of your unconditional love that brings you shadow out of hiding. So basically, this mantra is really ideal for overcoming fear, dealing with night terrors. Oh my gosh, maybe that's why I got the Knight of Swords. Because Knight of Swords, it's actually taught about sleepless nights, okay? You're having a hard time sleeping. So for some of you, that can be the case, like literally, all right? You're struggling with that. Or some anxiety or stress issues as well. And yeah, on that Knight of Swords card earlier, it even said darkest fears, right? So yeah, this is also what some of you may have healed already. You're able to overcome fear, or you try to replace fear with courage. And this is also a mantra that you can use for transcending the perception of scarcity. Okay? Wow. I so love your reading as well, group number 3. So I hope you're able to pick up something from this reading. All right, celebrate how far you've come, you guys. Be proud, just like what your guys are saying. Give yourself a pat on the back. Be gentle in your healing journey or with yourself. So that's all I have for you. I'll see you as always next week. Bye.